here to talk about it. So a lot now, as you've seen, a lot of the internet was outraged of Joe Budden's coverage of the whole Megan Thee Stallion situation, and they told him to mind woman business or whatever have you. So an original article came out on Hot New Hip Hop, basically talking about Joe Budden's pattern of discrediting Megan Thee Stallion. So I want to get into it. A lot of people, well, a person in my comment section when I did the original video was like, "How is this jokes?" And don't get me wrong, I do understand how somebody could get hurt by this, but again, maybe it's just me. I thought it was a joke. Of course, do I want Megan Thee Stallion to get shot? But at the same time, you know what the video game Call of Duty is, and like, so of course, if they came to you to be a playable character, did you really think in your mind motherfuckers wasn't gonna think about that? I'm sorry, I'm the only one that said that, or even Joe Budden was one that said that on a public platform. It's like, yeah, you signing up for Call of Duty, Battlefield, all these FPS games? Come on, there's something called common sense. I don't like. We gotta stop acting like this woman don't have common sense. She's a victim, and again, I'm not here for her to relive the trials and tribulations that happened to her in that situation with Tory Lanez. No. But if you're talking to Call of Duty, COD, come on, gang. Like, like at some point, you have to have the mindset that you could be potentially a playable character or even a shootable character, and motherfuckers is gonna dump some bullets. Even if they couldn't necessarily, you were like an NPC that couldn't be killed, niggas would mod the game. Once they have your model in the game, they can mod it to, like, come on, folks. Like, we not doing this. Like, there's common sense at some points. There is. Why you tell us that? Niggas was gonna get their jokes off. Like, come on. But anyways, let's get into this article. So Megan Thee Stallion moves gets picked apart, especially from Joe Budden. From fashion to, I never heard that nigga talk about her fashion, but anyways, music, yes, to the shooting trial, nothing's off limits. I will say this, and I always say this. I'm not saying that Tory Lanez is innocent, no. I will say this. The story of events both sides told of what led up to Tory, like, discharging the weapon at her, it was fuckery. There's no way I could believe Meg when she says, I said I was saying I was the bigger artist, so he got on and he, like, was started wheeling and dealing. It's like, no, I believe the aspect of Kelsey found out you was smashing dude. Kelsey got COVID. She wasn't around. You was smashing dude. And then y'all started the argument. Like, y'all two was the first argument, and then Tory got involved in it. I do believe that makes more sense to me. I'm sorry. But anyways, I digress. So if we pick apart whatever both niggas said, it's just he said, she said. That's why every time Tory Lanez came out and said, yo, her people are trying to spin the story, and she came out saying Tory people trying to spin. I'm like, yes, I believe both sides are trying to spin the story to make the person they make bread off of, money off of, looks better. Yes, that makes complete sense to me. But anyways, I digress. Let's get to Meg and Joe. So Meg has long occupied a complicated space in the culture. She's adored by fans, lauded by brands, I don't know how to say that word, and yet routinely questioned in a court of public opinion. See, this is the thing. Like, when that situation happened, it was confusing. We're not gonna act like it wasn't confusing. And yes, yes, believe black women and all that. But yes, I have the right to ask questions and not just be like, oh, you swayed me because you told me a story, love. I need like a little evidence. Like, come the fuck on. Like, let's keep it about. Let's be real. I need a little evidence. I need something. Nigga, you heard me in the David videos when it first came out, when they found the body in the Tesla. I'm like, yo, people could have stole this shit. We don't know. Let's wait for more information. Now, when I cover it, I'm like, yeah, that motherfucker, even it's alleged, but he probably did that shit. I just need more information. I'm not just going to come right out the gate and be like, his ass guilty. Like, come the fuck on now. Come the fuck on. And plus, y'all niggas make it worse with all these cocaine. Every nigga keep bringing this back up. So now I got to come over here and make a video. And I'm like, well, what if that's true? Like, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, the tension came to a head recently when, during a testimony in her lawsuit with Milagro Grams, a personal anecdote about a major video game deal with Call of Duty revealed emotional toil of public life. Like, come on, bro. You got Call of Duty comes to you for a day. Like, come on. Like, there has to be some level of common sense here. No disrespect to me, but come on. You know what that game franchise is. If you don't know, type it in, love. Do your research. Like, it's not hard. I'm sorry. That's why it's like, Yes. Was it a distasteful joke? Yes. Well, it was still a joke. I understand it was a joke from Joe Budden. I'm sorry. Understandably, the thought of players targeting her digital necklace with gun violence was too upsetting given that she was shot in 2020, yet the revelation didn't spark widespread empathy. It's kind of disclosure that should have open space for reflection. Instead, it triggered another round of speculation. Once again, Joe Budden was quick to weigh in. Budden's commentary, didn't I read this shit? Commentary of the high-profile shooting against Tory Lanez. He repeatedly used this platform to cast doubt of her credibility. Listen, the stories y'all niggas was telling and the way that court case was, there was some fuckery there. I'm sorry. There was some pure fuckery. There was nonsense going on. But anyways, he and his co-hosts, and the way Kelsey was testifying. Anyways, there's a playlist. Y'all check their shit out. Anyways, his guest questioned her mental health and dismissed her emotional testimony. He pushed misinformation and speculative theories to an audience of millions. Eventually, even he had to walk some of it back, issuing an apology for joking about her trauma, which is fair. Like I said, distasteful joke. I did think it was a joke. Distasteful, yes, but joke nevertheless. By then, the damage was done. Budden's critics had already helped shape the chaotic online discourse, influencing how some listeners viewed Megan's pain. Also, I know I'm talking about this because this is just an original article. We're going to get to the point I'm going to spin back on it and see like what people said about his comments. That's going to be a separate video, but we'll get there anyways. The pattern of minimizing has followed Megan from courtroom to career. Budden, as one of the leading podcasters in hip-hop and beyond, has often led the charge with his. So much so that actress Vivica A. Fox rebuked his commentary, urging respect for Megan in the face of relentless scrutiny. Some may argue that Budden's comments on everyone and doesn't have biases when it comes to harsh takes. He has a lot of biases, I ain't gonna lie. He does, but regardless. We've seen from his episodes that anyone can get it. Still, the particular disdain that podcasters and the public have had for Megan through harrowing time should be studied. I wouldn't say it's hatred. It's just, bro, niggas didn't just believe you right away. It's cool. I'm not just gonna believe you because you're a gal again. And again, Meg is right. Like, when you really look at it, but again, some of this shit that niggas was saying in that case made no sense. When y'all niggas gotta understand, y'all was breaking out what the fuck happened, it made no sense. And the Kelsey testimony made no sense. To this day, that court trial was just confusing us. So y'all niggas did not do a good job. And how the fuck was the other motherfucker who was in the car, the fourth person who was driving the vehicle, he didn't touch the stand? Bro, that made no sense. Y'all niggas was doing some fuckery. That was some fuckery in that trial. I'm sorry. It was. The other motherfucker in the car. No, we don't get to hear his perspective. No, he don't take. What? Anyways, man. Oh, yeah, I do remember, yeah, there was a point that they could have subpoenaed Joe Budden and Kylie. Well, honestly, they should have subpoenaed Kylie Jenner because it was her party. I still don't understand how the fuck they didn't subpoena that girl, but that's a story for another day. Anyways. Megan Thee Stallion revealed you're a playable character in her likeness. I'm skimming through some of this shit. Oh yeah, this is the joke people got mad at. Joe Budden said, I don't. It doesn't even play the game, but I'll buy it off the strength alone. The line landed poorly. To many, it sounded like Budden was saying he would buy the game just to shoot the playable character that looks like Megan Thee Stallion. This implication struck a nerve, especially coming from someone who had publicly casted doubt on her account of being shot and someone who has faced public allegations of domestic violence. I'm not here to talk about the Aiden Ross subpoena. That's a whole nother video. We sticking to the Joe Budden shit. I'm not here to talk about that. In the thick of public fallout over the Tory Lanez, Budden has made a point to declare on his podcast, I stand in my dislike for the... Okay, if he don't like her in general, that's his business. Like, I can't... Whatever. Like, you don't like her, you don't like her. You're not going to like everyone. That's his business. Now, if he's being biased and giving her a hard time and you feel like it's unwarranted, fair. But, like, if he just doesn't like her because he doesn't like her music, okay, that's prerogative. Other people love her music. That's his fucking prerogative. Anyways, he said about Megan Thee Stallion, this has nothing to do with the case or Tory Lanez. Personally, I've seen this woman do horrible things to some really great people that I have long-standing relationships with in the internet. So, see, this is the thing also I will say. I personally don't know. I think Megan Thee Stallion, decent human being. I don't know her. But again, if they're talking about shit that's happened behind the scenes, and that's why Joe Budden has disdain for this woman, nigga, that's their business. I don't know what the fuck happened. That's his business. I can't critique that. And at the same time, like I would say, these motherfuckers come out on social media and shit. They look great. They look nice and shit. They look fun. You never know how they is when they turn that camera off or in privacy. They could be assholes. You never know. So again, if she was on some F shit to some of Joe's friends and he don't like her because of that reason, his business. Anyways. So I'm biased. Oh, he said that. Okay. You can't just treat my friends and people I F with and people I've seen in the game for 15 years a certain way. Okay, so maybe, okay. That statement was a line in the sand without naming names or offering specifics. Budden casted Megan as professionally harmful and someone who had mistreated respected figures in business. He added, I'm talking about her and what she's chosen to do professionally. I want to be clear. I don't know her as a person. She could be amazing, but there's a lot to deal with when you sign and a lot that happens fast. Wow, this is a long ass article. On this podcast, wow, y'all niggas going back. But in this crew waiting on what qualifies an art. Okay, but that's perspective. Because I remember that one when they were talking about what makes a superstar. He does not believe she's a superstar level yet. That's opinions. I can't be mad at a nigga for having opinions. Yeah, y'all breezing through some of this shit, bro. I think it could be biased because at this point, are you sick? Oh, really? This shit you wear, I think, was Michael. Oh, Michael Kors, real nigga activity. I didn't know y'all niggas was still doing what y'all doing. Salute. I'm mad at y'all niggas. Anyways, at this point, him just giving like fucking opinions on her stuff, it is what it is. I said the restraining order, so they're just going through different phases. So there was a point when Tori, as you know, was locked up and she extended the restraining order. Again, should he go around or no? And I understand her perspective, but I can also understand that it's overkill because my nigga's locked up. Even if you do the restraining order, he's still locked up. It would make sense if he came out and you're like, yo, I want a restraining, perfectly fine. But you get a restraining order another 5 years, he's still gonna be in jail. That's what made no sense to me. I was like, what the fuck is he doing? For what? Like that. I was like, for what? That was me personally. I'm not gonna lie. I would handle that when bro got out, but hey, niggas is busy. Yeah, it's just talk about his criticism on Shorty. Like, yeah, they just are scanning through a lot of this stuff. Don't bring in academic. Yeah, they just bringing in side shit as well. So again, do I believe maybe Joe goes a little bit too far and maybe how allegedly she could have treated some people he knows in the industry could affect how he treats her or talks about her? Yes. But some of the aspects he is giving his opinion. How she looked at the Met Gala, that's his opinion. She looks great to me. The whole her versus Nicki, you know, Joe and Nicki kind of have a thing. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's certain aspects it's like, okay, come on. Like, y'all niggas is reaching for some shit. So again, we can make the case for it, but again, and I'm not going to say Joe's innocent or he's never critiqued her wrongfully. I'm not going to say that. You could say, like, again, this whole Call of Duty thing justified. I can see why people are upset and people are not understanding her trauma and her victimization. I've probably done that multiple times and I understood some shit. But, you know, as well as, you know, the whole Tory like court case and this and that and this, and maybe his bias that he has friends that she professionally treated wrong, so he might be going a gangster. Her being on the Forbes 30 for 30 and 30 under 30, sorry, at the time, and he's saying she didn't sell ish. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I get it, but at the same time, some of them is just opinions. Some of them is really just opinions. Oh, he didn't like her new song. Okay. I don't think Joe fits her demo. The fuck does that have to do with how he treats her? He doesn't like the song. He does what it is. Now, again, maybe I'm not seeing it as that. Maybe he really went in on her. And yeah, maybe he just didn't like the song. And then, see, this is the thing as well. Joe is very performative on the podcast as well, sometimes. And to be fair, niggas like the turned up moments. That's how some of that shit goes viral. So, again, it's one of them situations where Not that you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. Hey, this is how this nigga brings in his income. So even with this shit and me talking about this, bring more awareness to it or whoever else, niggas gonna go click this shit and watch this shit at the end of the day. So, hey, it is what it is. Scam money don't make no money. Niggas that say that a long time ago. Anyways, what do y'all think about this? Do you think he has a bias towards her? Which at this point I can say there's a little bit of a bias, if I'm being fair. But do I outrightfully think every time he has critiqued her or talked about her, it's just hatred and there's a bias? No, I feel like sometimes he was genuinely giving his opinion. And baby girl, like, you're popular. Niggas gonna talk about you. It is what it is. Like I've been saying, when she wants people to stop talking about the situations, like, you and Tori is connected. You just gotta deal with that. I know it's a lot, but when we think of one motherfucker, we gonna think of the other motherfucker. So it is what it is. Hey, you know what I'm saying? So, anyways, what do y'all think? This ran a little bit too long, but y'all know what it is. Friendly Neighborhood Cat 8 signing off for today. Shalom Zoom, peace out, Els gang.